Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Welcome! You're here with me for Minidisc Monday number 26, and we're going to revisit the hip-hop scene of the 1990s today as we look at the first solo album from the artist formerly known as the Fresh Prince. Of course, I'm talking about Will Smith and his album Big Willie Style, no sniggering at the back.
From the first time the doctor placed you in my arms, I knew I'd meet death before I let you meet harm. Although questions arose in my mind, would I be man enough against wrong, choose right, and be standing up? From the hospital that first night, took an hour just to get the car seat in right. People driving off fast got me kinda upset. Got you home safe, placed you in your bassinet. That night I don't think one wink I slept. As I slipped out my bed to your crib I crept, touched your head gently, felt my heart melt, cause I knew I loved you more than life itself. Into my knees, and I begged the Lord, please let me be your good daddy. All he needs, love, knowledge, discipline too. I pledge my life to you.
Just the two of us.
Woo.
We can make it if we try.
Just me and you, just me and you. Something for the people, y'all.
Just the two of us.
Woo.
Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.
So this was Will Smith's first solo album technically, and it was marketed as like a return to music because at this point Will Smith, whilst having a successful career simultaneously as a rapper and as an actor in his Fresh Prince guise, both with Jazzy Jeff and of course on the sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was starting to establish himself as one of Hollywood's biggest stars around this point in 1997. Of course, Men in Black had not long since been released and was a big hit in the cinemas. So Big Willie Style is the only Will Smith album that I own. It's sort of pop rap, really. Some good production on it, and I'll give you my final thoughts at the end, of course. But before I do that, let's take a look at everything within. So the case is kind of cracked and it's got some sticker residue, but it's holding together, which is all you can really ask for a Minidisc case in 2025. There's the disc itself, sticker with the album artwork on that side, and then the track listing and a bit of legal and copyright bump below. Made in Austria, as Minidiscs tended to be back in the day. As for the booklet, it's pretty good. It's a concertina style one, which I'm never massively fond of, but it's got all your production information. It's got some thank yous from the man himself, Mr. William Smith. But what about the album itself? Well, let's go through the tracks, shall we? So it starts off with the intro, and like, I don't know, seemingly almost every rap and hip hop record of this period, certainly, this is an album that mixes just general tracks, general songs with skits, spoken word, little sketches intermingled with the album tracks themselves. The intro is, I think, set somewhere like an award ceremony or something, kind of reintroducing Will Smith to the music portion of his audience. I'm not a big fan of those skits. I've talked about it before, particularly in my review of the Fugees' The Score mini-disc a few months ago. I think they're a waste of album space, to be perfectly honest, but they seem to be quite popular, particularly back in the day. Next we get to track 2, Y'all Know. Number 3 is the first one that I was particularly familiar with because it was one of, I think, 5 singles released from this album. Getting Jiggy With It. It was alright, that. I remember it back in the day, being on the radio a lot. I don't mind it really, there's worse tracks out there. Track 4 I think is possibly my favourite on the album actually. It's Candy, and it features Larry Blackman and Cameo. Cameo, of course, of Word Up and Codpiece fame. Enjoyed that a lot, probably the best thing on the album. Chasing Forever is track 5, and then we get to another interlude, Keith Be Real 1. Now, Keith Be Real, I think, is meant to be like a radio DJ, portrayed in these skits by the actor and I think sometime rapper Jamie Foxx. Don't Say Nothing is track 7, and then track 8 is Miami, which was another single, and there again, a bit like Getting Jiggy With It really. It's okay, but it's never going to be up there in my personal favourites. Number 9 is Yes Yes Y'all featuring Camp Low. Track 10, I Loved You. Track 11, Keith Be Real 2, another interlude. Let's move on quickly from them because I don't like them. Track 12, It's All Good. 13, Just the Two of Us. That, of course, was a single as well. All the singles, by the way, from Big Willie Style did pretty well in the UK. 4 of them got top 10, or top 3, I think, actually. Men in Black, of course, got to number 1. Track 14 is Keith Be Real 3, the final interlude, thankfully. 15, Big Willie Style, the title track, and that features Lisa Left Eye Lopez of the girl group TLC. And then the last 2 tracks, number 16, Men in Black, which I kind of feel was a late addition to the album because that would have come out quite some time before Big Willie Style, and it would have featured on the film soundtrack. And it feels like it's kind of been added near the end of this album here. And 17, a remix of Just Cruising. So what do I think of Big Willie Style? Well, it's not for me really. I do like certain hip hop. I admittedly prefer more hardcore hip hop and gangster rap. And this, while its production quality is decent and it feels like it could be the basis, sort of the undercoat really, of a half-decent hip-hop album by a more credible artist. For Mr. Smith here, who is trying to stay family-friendly because he's got responsibility now as a family man and as a mainstream Hollywood actor, you know, there's no way he's going to suddenly go down the Tupac road of effing and jeffing, well, at least not until the Oscars. A few decades later. It's not really a recommendation from me. The production's decent, but it feels wasted on, I would say, D-tier rapper like Will Smith. He's not the worst rapper in the world, but his material is sort of lightweight and just too kiddie and family friendly, really. I can't remember how much this mini-disc cost me back in the day. I don't think it was an awful lot. I think this was a popular album. It sold well over the period of about 2 or 3 years here in the UK, and no doubt it would have done even better in America and in other parts of the world. So it's not the worst album on mini-disc I've got by any stretch, but it's not one that I'm in any rush to get back to and listen to again. Only the second time I've listened to it today before I recorded this, and I think I enjoyed it a bit more than the first time I heard it, but overall, no, just not really my scene. So that was Big Willie Style by Will Smith, aka The Fresh Prince. Thank you all for watching today's Minidisc Monday, with special thanks that go to my subscribers and my patrons. I'm going to go now, and please join me again in a fortnight's time for the next edition of Minidisc Monday. Cheers everyone. See ya!